have light? They say because of transformer. I said, I will buy the transformer. We bought the transformer. Our cost crashed. So if they can, make it available, then we will not become prudent. It is not for us to be prudent. All this putting lights. Some of you that go to America, when you go and stay with your sister in America, do you put their lights on? You don't now. When you enter bathroom, you put on. When you leave bathroom, you switch it off. So that is, they are trying to reduce their cost. And this is what will happen. But we pray that the government of the day would, make it possible or invest a lot on infrastructure. Without infrastructure, this country cannot move forward. And I can tell you that people will always find ways and means to make things happen. When there are opportunities, you will see people. The other day I was looking at going through social media, and I saw a man that discovered that if you use rechargeable lights and plug it into a tree, that it will give you light. Before subsidy was removed, did we see that? After subsidy, people started, because there's no vacuum in life. People will find ways and means to survive. Our prayer is that they would give us infrastructure. I was coming here, a whole Okota, right? Okota, a whole Okota, no road. That Emzo industry, you enter deep like this, you come out like, what we need is infrastructure. If they can use the money that they are saving, because I can tell you they are saving huge amounts of money, just removing this subsidy. The future without subsidy, of course, I've said it, is going to be hard. It will be hard, but it will get better. You ask me, how is it going to get better? How it's going to get better is, if they start making those savings and they start improving our reserves. Now we have no reserve, absolutely no reserve. So assuming they start making the savings and they start improving our reserve, and our reserves start going up, it means that our money will start gaining strength. And as our money gains strength, the multiplication, so it's not more going to be plat times 780 or 790. It's not going to be plat times 600. If it gains another strength, it's not going to be plat times 400, like that. When the money, do you understand what I mean? And then by the time all the refineries, that the Dangote refinery and all these other refineries start being operational, because now they have the enabling environment to be operational. When government was bringing in the product, subsidizing everything, because more government, their pocket is so deep, because it is individuals that are running these things and they don't really care. Let me give you an example. If I have a ship that is supposed to go and discharge, in fact, the moment the ship tenders NOR, I don't sleep. I will be on my ops people. If I see do more rage, why this ship supposed to have say, madam, we are trying, I will be on. Nobody sleeps until that vessel discharges. There's no government worker that will do that. They will leave vessel. They will even forgotten the vessel. They've gone for Hajj, all of them will go for Hajj. They will leave the thing. When they now remember, because it's not coming from their pocket. When it's coming from your pocket, you will make sure. Because one good thing that is going, efficiency will drive the industry. Because you know that if you're not efficient, you're going to lose money. So you have to be efficient. All this nonsense, you'll be forced to plan your operations. You'll be forced to look for foreign finance. Yes, on Monday, I had meeting with some traders from London. And they were saying, they will not accept SBLC. That means they will not take cash. Before, you have to pay cash for you to, because they know that nobody can really, truly afford. So it means that financial cost is going to be removed. And our financial cost is huge. For a 60 days transaction on your PMS, you have a financial cost of almost 16 naira. Almost 16 naira. So imagine if you efficiency drives it and you're reducing all these costs, invariably you will, over a long period of time, we will never go back to that 100, and please, no matter how Bishop prays, you won't go back there. We're not ever going to go back there, but you will get better. I believe that this is the worst. Where we are now is the worst, and I pray that this should be the worst. That moving forward, that we'll move forward to glory, from glory to glory in Jesus' name. And I want to ask us to please focus on the opportunities that is now going to, because every policy presents us with opportunities. Every policy, no matter whether the government is clueless or the government has all the knowledge, every policy they brings opportunity. My prayer is that God will open our individual eyes to see those opportunities that are around us that we couldn't see, and begin to pick those small pennies that will help us to build capacity and also support our families in Jesus' name. So I don't know if anybody has a question. This is where I end for today.
Yes, please let's give her another round of applause. A standing ovation. She deserves a standing ovation. Shall we rise and give her a standing ovation, please? She deserves it. This has been like a school. No, ma'am. Okay. You can take the answers from there. The procedure usually is after our speaker has spoken. We take comments and questions or clarifications. We may sit, please. Sit, please. So we take comments, questions, and I think the person I would have wanted to ask to flag it off, she's given some responses there, as in we shouldn't expect it to get back to 100 naira. And I've been kabashing and praying and fasting that it should get back to 100 naira. So my question, ma'am, is, since it's now deregulated, getting more people to import, will that help, or the issues of infrastructure? What will really make this price to drop? Is it to allow people, because I recall when MTN came to Nigeria, I partnered with a South African company called Radio Sport. We helped MTN set up their marketing in Nigeria. And SIM card sold for 40,000 naira then. 20,000 naira for Sergeant phone, which you can't even give someone for free today. SIM card was 20,000 naira, but today SIM card is 100 naira, 200 naira and free. At what point can we get there? In fuel. That's people's dream. That's what we are believing that this deregulation may bring about. So I think if we take that, then if you have questions, can you raise your hand, please? So we can have coordinated. Okay, Bishop has a question too. So is there some points we hope that it will come down to, just like the telecommunication? Let me put it that way.
Okay, let me add my own. Okay. My question would be, Nigerians were very hopeful with the fact that Dangote refinery was going to help. But we're also surprised now that the same Dangote now has been offered a license to import fuel. So our question now is it a refinery that was built or a tank?
Let me take it one so that. Okay, so on the first question, whether competition would drive the price down, of course, competition always drives prices down, because even in AGO that is deregulated, and maybe I should go back by saying that the people that give licenses for importation of fuel, as it is now, is NMDPRA. They give to anybody that is qualified to, and they. Sorry. Okay, so I'll just stand here. Okay, so the government agency that is saddled with that responsibility of giving licenses for imports is NMDPRA. So NMDPRA will give you license if you meet their requirements. So I guess anybody that can meet their requirement, anybody that is here that meets that requirement would be able to get a license. And yes, monopoly is not good. Anywhere you have monopoly, that is one person being able to bring in the product. The person determines what price he wants to sell his product at. And what they have done is to say whoever has capacity, whoever can bring, you bring. This is the reason why we have even diesel going, sometimes you see diesel up. Because if you bring your own in and say you're going to sell it at so and so price that is not market price, another person will come and sell it at the price they want to sell so they can do quick turnover and go and bring in another one. So if you're holding your own, somebody else is ready to sell at a good price, the person will take the market. So yes, competition is necessary to drive this efficiency that I'm talking about and to drive the price down. Competition is necessary. So that's one, but I don't know if that answers your question. Monopoly is not a good system of trade. It does not help anybody at all. It does. In fact, in developed countries, is a crime. It's a crime to fix prices. It's a crime for you to be in an association where you say we are going to sell at this price. It is a crime. It is a crime. Or for you to put barrier to entry in such a way that that barrier is not as a result of capacity, as a result of individual capacity, but as a result of a policy that makes it a barrier. And that is what you have in some of the industries in Nigeria. But thankfully, in petroleum industry, they haven't done that. They have said, if you have capacity, bring it in. So anybody can bring it in. And for me, that would invariably lead to, price crash. One. And then, Bishop, you asked the question that they're giving license to Dangote. Dangote, first phase, the most complicated production in the chain of, production I heard. I'm not a petrochemical engineer, but I heard that it is PMS. So Dangote, that refinery is not ready yet. Is not ready yet. But for a business person, when he's not ready yet, like me, I don't have cargo now, but I have demand to still satisfy my customers. So what do? I buy from my colleagues that I have, and I'll continue to satisfy my customer until my own come. I guess that is what he's doing. He's not producing yet, but he wants to be importing before he starts producing. And I was going to say that having refinery, one of the way I see that it will help in reducing the price is logistics, the logistics cost. It costs a lot of money to bring a product from Europe to West Africa. So imagine cutting off that cost and bringing it from just at your backyard. Even in terms of insurance cost and everything, it reduces. And all of those has implication for the price.
Okay, thank you very much for this enlightening session. My question, there's something you said when you were talking. You said that the right thing to do is not to police the subsidy regime. That is better the way it was said, gone, and it was gone. And when you look at it, the effect, especially to productivity, national productivity is high because energy ranks high. When you want to talk about productivity, cost of energy is a big deal. And from my little studies, I discovered that almost every country that produces in this world subsidizes energy somehow. They subsidize. Fine, China subsidizes as much as 80% of the energy cost. What would you say about productivity? Because this particular subsidy removal is driving down productivity, is messing up the productive sector. I want you to talk about it and what should be done, what subsidy or what measures can be taken to help people who are into production to get back. I know, let me just give one example. The people that are into dry cleaning, they are literally not doing business because you can't iron with 500 naira fuel. Thank you.
So, like I said,
Ma'am, will you take second question so
that I don't forget?
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Like I said it's not going to be easy. But if you put it on a scale, on the loss and the gain, it's like somebody who has, as in Igbo, they said, Somebody that his house is on fire cannot be chasing rats. Do you understand? It's not going to be. And then when you're talking about production, and you mentioned lights. You remember I said if they can put use the savings to put on infrastructure, that includes light, road, and all that. If they can put it there, then it becomes easy for everybody. Like I said, that the cost of using diesel or now petrol as it's been deregulated is even before it was deregulated, it still costs you higher than normal electricity. Because electricity is fired with gas, and gas is natural gas. Do you understand? So on the long run, there's a lot of adjustment that will go in. It's not going to be easy. Anybody saying it's going to be easy is lying. But adjustments will go in, and I think that the government ought to have, given some kind of palliatives before this happened. But the truth of the matter is that all the time they have tried to engage the labor. All the time they try to engage them. They don't end up in any destination. Do you understand? They don't end up anywhere. Most of the people that say they are representing labor, they go there for their own pocket too, and negotiate what will be given to them so there won't be industrial action. And they will not come, and that's the problem. So and then diesel, most factories, most industries, at least medium to large scale industry, run on diesel and gas. This one has been deregulated long ago. That's why the cost of diesel is what it is. So I believe that with time, like I said, this is the worst. I'm not a politician. No. I'm just saying the truth between me and my God, as I know it, as I believe it.
Madam, thank you. Wonderful lecture. From what you said, this subsidy has started since 1970. And I know we are fathers. Since our child was born, we were taking care of them. At a point, we decided to ask them to go and learn trading or learn whatever to support. Now, I know they subsidize fuel, they subsidize dollar. Now, is there any other thing that government is still subsidizing to make life easier for the masses? Or they've removed everything and leave us with nothing, no help, no supportive whatever? That is one. Then secondly, I want to ask, ecosystem, yes, you said. Cooperation, you said. Are we the only one that will cooperate? The poor masses. What is government trying to cooperate with us or with, some technocrats or some international communities to make life easier for us? I can understand the Niger Delta. Every backyard, there is a mini refinery. Our God makes impossibility possible. But the Nigerian government, a refinery working here is impossible. The Dangote own we're expecting is also an impossible task now. What is government doing to cope with these locals in Niger Delta that has a refinery at their backyard, bringing it out without sweat? Are there policies that could gather these people together, give us small refineries that could refine crude we are going to use locally? Because doing that, we can expect that this wars we are talking about is not just the beginning. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to say first of all that I'm not government. I'm just as normal as yourself. Maybe just better informed as to both the positive and negative impact of the policy, and trying to communicate that my information to everybody so that we can all not see it as as bad. So I'm not government. Then talking about if there is any other subsidy that we are still enjoying now, electricity is still not where it should be, and that is the reason why there is little or almost no development in that sector. But I also hear that they're going to remove the clock, the what they've put on it so that people can now invest. Electricity business is a huge, massive business all over the world. Only in Nigeria, and this is just because of this thing, oh, the poor people cannot afford it, the poor people cannot afford it. But there is no place in this world that you don't have poor people. Everywhere you have rich people, you have poor people. And most things we are trying to hold on to, we end up losing times 20 of it. Because assuming now that you have, like I said, no matter, what you say, that having electricity at whatever cost is still better than buying diesel and PMS to run your generator. The environmental hazard of running, when you buy diesel, you're helping me. My business is growing, but I'm still telling you the truth. The environmental hazard that you have with multiple use of all these things, you cannot even be quantified. So I believe that with time, that when they remove the clog on the wheel of development of our electricity power, that's power sector, that's the energy electricity sector, more infrastructure, a lot of people will come. Like in my industry, there was a time all the depots were owned by government. All the depots were owned by government. By the time they opened it up a bit, a lot of people invested, and now we have excess capacity. It's the same thing that is going to happen. We have a lot of refineries coming up. A lot of refineries, as I can tell you. I have colleagues that have already gone into refining business, and some that are still going. Over time, when it becomes too much, they will start competing against each other. And what happens is that the price will continue to come down. Government has no business doing business. Government should take their hands off business. Any government official that wants to continue to do business is a corrupt official that is benefiting from the bureaucracy and the arbitrage that exists. What government is supposed to do is to do policies and regulate and ensure that people abide. They're not supposed to be the one doing the business, because efficiency is not there. MTN succeeded and all these telecom. Where is Nitel? Where is Nitel? And they had everything that should make them succeed, and yet they did not succeed. They had everything more than the private. I do NPR in my office every end of the month. Every end of the month, I want to know what everybody has done, what's income that you have generated to justify your salary. Do you understand? And it's important to me. If I think that a particular person is not productive,